Welcome to the match against Poti. I think we're supposed to be on across 8 boards, but I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had one person missing. So I'm playing board 2. James is playing board 1. Marco van Sauer board 3. Udizas on board 4. Killer Frost on board 5. That's Kiara Blows. Ethan Masikana. Board 6 and Matthew on board 7. Opponents got a decent rating. I think we are outranked on pretty much on every board in this game. So it's just like a lazy man's opening, just simply generic. My next objective is to play f4, I think, and just to hope that okay, I think I am fine, because now I don't think he can place anything on e4. So yeah, once I've got this, I think it's very difficult also for him to play. But then every time my knight has to stay on c3 on d2 to prevent a knight from coming to e4, which is kind of the trade-off. In this position, it's very hard for me to make progress. I do have an idea. I have an idea where of playing g4, g5. So knight c6 here, so putting pressure on d4. I know how irritating this can be from the black side. That's why I'm actually I don't believe in these setups, but they can, if you don't know what you're doing, they can be very hard to play against. Hey, Trevor, how are you? Hey, thank you, Wilfred. Yeah, always welcome. So he goes knight f d7, but now he's got nothing which can come to e4. I could maybe take advantage of this and play. Okay, I could play queen here, h5, which is quite tricky. So I'm threatening mate on h7, but at the same time g6, I'm threatening knight x g6. And if f g6, I play bishop g6. That's interesting. It's not conclusive though, because I think he has knight f6 in some lines. If I go bishop g6, threatening mate, he has to take. If I go knight g6, he can play knight f6. Okay, so some of the sacrifices don't work here. But it is. I'm okay now, Grave. I'm okay. I think yesterday I was exhausted. Okay, so here what it does. Which is interesting, yeah. That it does this. I'm going to test him. Okay. It can only be interesting if I really try to test him. So g4. So the point is that he can't really take because of the queen and the bishop. Knight f6 is not really scary because I just go queen h3 and still keep pressure on that square. So that's funny. Okay, so he takes on e5. Now I want to put pressure on f, so I'll play. Which one makes more sense? I want to push pressure on f. So if I take with d, this gives some counterplay on d4 sometimes. But if I keep this, I keep the bishop out of play, and I keep pressure. Now the rook, the bishop, and the queen, plus the pawn put pressure on f5. Yeah, ideally. Okay, this should force him to play g6, which would get me to play my queen h3. So he goes g6, I go queen here. My moves are pretty much forced, so I don't really have in this position, like the last few moves I think are pretty much forced. I could have played queen h6 perhaps, but this is not bad. Yeah, worst case scenario. Okay, it looks like we are one down already, and that is okay. Matt lost his game to Elin, WFM Elin. It's a very nice, strong team, so it's good exposure for the young players. Did you have your match, Greold? And how did it go? Reading last night. You drew 5-5, not bad. Your youngsters are getting a lot of good exposure. I wonder what dilemma my opponent is trying to solve. So there's a few challenges here. He could take on g4. He takes on f1, I take with the knight. The knight will be nicely placed. Okay, so he was trying to figure this part out. He doesn't want to open the g file, he doesn't want to help my pieces also. So I could maybe take on the g file, on the f file like this, force him to take with the pawn, open the g file, take. I need to improve the pieces, so I could go. He's got check and he's got rook g4. Should be very unpleasant. Let's see. It's got its advantages. Knight and f3 could really help. Okay, it makes sense to do this. Keeps an eye on these squares, so this diagonal really most likely won't become open anytime soon. He does have rook g4, but if it becomes a problem, I'll force something, or force an exchange of sort. Okay, the queen is coming. I'm not sure what it's coming to do. Maybe it might be wise for me to step out of the way. Maybe this and bishop d2. I just didn't want him to get a tempo on queen g6 check. That could be annoying. Okay, he wants to come rook g. But if I go rook g, he exchanges, I take, he goes queen there, I go knight there. Okay. Right. Go bishop d2, he goes rook g4, go rook here, he goes queen g6. Okay, let's go bishop d2. There's one. Oh, we are 3-0 down. Lord, it's not a happy sight what we're experiencing right now. So Ethan lost his first game, and Yubo lost his first game. Udizas is still in there. So playing a girl. I already can tell you the outcome of that one. Thank you for the follow. I think I can safely say Dash's game has already been foretold. Oh, my opponent is in time trouble, but it's not really a difficult position. I'm not sure why he's thinking a lot. This move doesn't really change the position. I thought maybe rook g4. He's probably going to start playing a bit faster now. But this is definitely not what's needed in the position. He was afraid of bishop a4, I think, but it's not relevant in this position. This, on the other hand, is interesting. I wonder. Okay, let's bring the rook here. Make it more interesting. Oh, we are 4-0 down right now. It's not looking good. Okay, so my idea of bringing the rook here is that, let's say if I try to lift the rook here, you would take, which would be very uncomfortable for me. Here he takes, but then I get the fire, right? This is good for me. Not sure how. Okay, I'm going to use this to improve the rook, the bishop. So this is a bad piece, so I want to trade it if I can. If he checks, I'm just going to exchange queens and go for the exchange of bishops with bishop h4. This is most likely going to happen because trying to avoid that will just result in a terrible position. So this, I think I'll go for. So I've got this exchange. Can you attack this pawn? Not really. But I could actually exchange this bishop for this good knight. Because this bishop is kind of useless for me. Oh, there's no way you can attack my pawns. Or I could say there's no way I could lose if I play this the right way. Okay. I'm going to take this and put the knight on f4. There's no need to hurry. Okay, let me improve the king. Let's start with this. I really want to go to the queen side, but the bishop is kind of keeping in security. Hey, Chapin, welcome on that side. So I'm just going to try and improve the king as much as I can. And here I'm just going to make a few, like this is very important. I just make these entrances a bit difficult, so I keep the bishop there. So my first try will be to improve the king on the king side. I know he can prevent this, so let's see. It will make him think a little bit. This is a no-risk kind of position for me, so okay. So now he's made maybe one minor mistake. I'll attempt to put my knight on f6, which is annoying because he can't leave the king side, I think. So I'll do this, attacking the bishop. So if I check him, he goes king g7, I attack him again. He goes, I attack the bishop this time. He has to move somewhere. Maybe bishop d7. He goes king f7. If I go king g5, he goes king f7, and my knight is trapped. Okay, let's while up. Let's make some adjustments to the idea. Check didn't really work. Okay, let me just do this to force his king to move. Okay, now how can I put pressure on this b4 point? I want to force him to capture. I want to force him to capture on c3. So I have to put pressure here, which means my knight has to be on c2. So let's go like this. I have to be very careful how I do this. Okay, the bishop has to be on c8 when I execute the idea. That way he can't come to a4. So if I go to knight e1 immediately, it goes bishop a4, I can go knight c2. But if my knight is on, okay, now it takes, okay, good. First part done. Alright, so let's put the knight on here to force him back to protect the pawn. Now, okay, this is probably not a good idea, but I want my knight here. Okay. If I go here, can you improve this? You can't improve this one. I need my king here on g5. Okay, let's make some entertainment. Let's pretend like we're doing something meaningful. Okay, good boy. Okay, I go here. This forces him to push maybe a pawn on h6, which is not really nice because now his king is running out of space. Okay, that's nice. But I see his idea. Oh, but I can always take advantage of that. So the king, every time it moves away, I'm going to try and attack the h pawn. What's my time? 3 minutes, alright. He's trying to bring his king around to this square. Okay, fair enough. How do I attack this? Okay, so let me bring my king around to the pin side. Okay, I see you. So here you can't play bishop h5 because then I would then play knight here, attacking 2 points. For now, let's go and meet with the king as it approaches our king side. I could play a4, but it's too committal. Yeah. So the problem for him is that eventually he runs out of moves, and he can't move the bishop further than he has to. Okay, this way he limits his own bishop. There is a saying that a knight cannot gain moves. Okay, so what happens is that if I attack the pawn, he has to advance it, which is a bad thing. Ooh, shit! Oh, I forgot his. Oh, this was terrible. Why? These risk-free positions. No. How could I relax so much? So what I just needed to do was, when he plays here, it's a trap. I just need to maybe get out of the way. Just play king here, and then it's fine. Then I can always attack h6. This is so bad. I don't want to decide. That was terrible. Okay. Oh, that hurts. Yeah. Damn. Okay. That was terrible. Okay. Let's see if we're going to play the advance. Nope. Great. I eventually got this book, by the way. C3 is an interesting idea, but since I haven't committed to knight f6, just makes it easy for me. Yep, that was not nice. Okay. Do I need to be developing the queen side here or just my king side? That was really unnecessary. What's our match standing? Oh, we're being hammered. It's 10 right now. Ooh, everyone is hating. The light square bishop is not really the best of pieces in this position. Ethan lost both his games, Matthew lost both his games. Killer Frost is down 1-0. And Odysseus is what? He's down 1-0. You boys down both. I'm down 1. James is down 1. It's James' birthday, guys. If you can, send him some love. Okay, so got an isolated pawn on d5. So in this position, I should just really mainly avoid exchanging minor pieces. Try to use the space advantage I have to attack. So my bishop needs to go to d6. I have to castle, of course. But yeah, the position is slightly better for white. And this is just unavoidable in most of these openings. Yep, this is an optimum move. But then, okay, let me just finish development first and then we'll deal with it. I think I might have some ideas like knight h5. But then again, I'm not supposed to be exchanging minor pieces. But maybe I could say if okay, so this threatens that. Let's start with queen here. Just controlling the light squares. And preparing to protect d5 pawn. Okay, see you. Maybe this was not so well thought out. This move. Okay. Just d8. Yeah, this was the the reason why I actually wanted to play my queen to d7. I wanted to prevent this move, but okay. Yes. James just turned 20. So I think he's getting married or something like that. Is a birthday present. Hopefully. Dash, I'm sure, is getting a beating of his life. He's so quiet. And he's being beaten by a girl. I wonder what defensive version of this story is. Okay, so exchanging here seems unavoidable. It's a really nasty position. But I'm not going to make it easy for him. Okay, what I'll do is I'll put pressure on the f5 knight. Okay, it's check and I'm kind of forced. And of course this is what white is going for. He wants to exchange all the minor pieces and he's doing it the most efficient way. I can't really avoid. But oh, this might be a bit weird. Might work out for me. Not really, nah. What do I do here? King takes, bishop takes. One idea I could use here is that Nimzovich reckons knights are good blockaders, and what you need in this position is a good blockader. And if I leave him with a knight, he's alright. I could actually eliminate my isolated pawn. So there's an idea where I take, he takes with the knight, I go d4, but then if he takes with the queen, I take, he's got time to support his pawn, his isolated pawn. If only he was forced to capture. I could take the knight, he takes the bishop, I put the rook behind the passed pawn, but then he's got a good piece. My knight will always be harassed. Okay, I take, all right, I want to exchange. Okay, let's do it like this. I take on e3, yes, to take with the knight. I play rook, and I want my rook, and I like to d8, and then go, where does he go? Because there, that's correct, yeah? I played the wrong rook. Alright. Okay. Let's go here. The ability to quickly shift. Oh, fusion of the 15th. Yeah, buying is not, it's not something we do for followers. The people here want to watch what we do. Yeah. Okay. Rook there. Of course, queen takes, pawn takes, rook takes. This is quite good for black. So that's not a big deal. So what I'm trying to do is, if I can put the rook here and dissolve this isolated pawn, I think I'm equal. That's the idea. Okay, so I'll go here. Okay, so now he's got knight c2. Okay, he's got that. Okay, so instead of going passive, which is most usually what people do in these scenarios, I'm just going to try and keep the rooks active. So I'm going to start with like something like rook e4 to h4. So this way I create some tactical possibilities which were not there before, or at least force him to create some weaknesses. So I'm kind of dynamically protecting. I think f3 was a mistake. He was supposed to maybe go knight c2, knight d4. This is how you treat these positions. But maybe it's not trying to treat this position. He thinks it's fine as it is. So, the first game is still haunting me. I can't wait to look at your games. No, if you're chopping, don't encourage it. Oh, someone just lost. I think. Oh, that was a Snowcat. Okay, so my immediate threat is to play pawn push, d4. And in so many cases, in so many versions, it works. These pieces are a bit passive, so. d4. It's from this week. This is from this current week. Okay, g3. Do I start defending or? Which club do you play for, Chopin? I'm sure they met in your absence and decided like maybe they needed to win, so they didn't have to call you. They met in your absence. So now I think it's created sufficient amount of weaknesses on the king side, and if I can force him to create some more weaknesses on the king side, stuff like this, I can maybe start utilizing the pins now. Like this is not a bad pin. Yeah, this is not a bad pin. So they didn't allow you back. For all you know, you no longer have membership in the club. Okay, so now I'm using the weaknesses is created. This is kind of how you play when you do have an isolated pawn. You try to make your pieces active. So now I'm using the pin to kind of delay him from putting pressure here. I want to play d4, but in most cases he just plays a rook to d7 to d2. But okay, so he does this, but there's some other issues here. For instance, I can play d4 and he goes rook d2 and then I go rook d7. Then he has to do something about it, because now I can capture. Okay, here, let me try that. Yeah, I think I can just go d4 now, which is a bit annoying. I forgot. That's not forgetting to trade queens. Oh, now I see what's wrong with this idea. Yeah, it's this move. And he captures with the knight. Of course, yeah. But if my rook was on d7, I didn't have to hurry to do this. But then if I go... Anyway, it's not the end of the world. Oh, it could be, but I really have to know. How can I take advantage of anything here? Okay, otherwise I'm just headed for a very long lost position. Okay. Because a girl also looks like the girls have been causing problems for you guys. Okay, it's going to be a long road. Of defense. There's some weaknesses, but it's not much. Oh, Dash has been suffering. I think Dash is still in his game, but I think he's if we go by the first game trend, he's going to get smashed again. Okay, the rook goes there. I could take and then what? I don't really have anything to show for that. I wanted to sacrifice on d4, but if I was getting another pawn, maybe. Yeah. Real life is a lion. Hello, everyone. How are you? That's interesting. Okay, take. I'm trying to seek refuge in pawn endings, in rook endings. Don't compare my rook to any meme, please. Last thing I want to hear is my rook being compared to any meme. I'm busy defending here. I'm walking over here. This is the prescribed handling of this said. What can I do? But you know, the beauty of increment is it forces you to work on your chest. Like my opponent, I noticed that in the end game, it takes a lot of time to decide on issues. Like now, okay, if I had not really setting traps, so he was threatening checks. It's an interesting idea. Okay, let's go like this. So when you've got an advantage, you always try to exchange one pair of rooks. This helps. For the defender, you have to try and avoid this exchange of rooks. And you have to try and avoid pushing pawns. It's very hard. But this is the best way to try and go for a draw. Exchanging knights is good for the draw option. That might be the best way to really play for an advantage. Okay. Okay. All right. That rook looks nice. But his king is becoming active and I can't prevent it. It's not so simple. I'm a pawn down. Okay, let's just go check for now. And then just keep the rooks on board. Okay, I can really avoid the rooks forever. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Sorry to disappoint you, Chopin. I am going blaze. There's no glory at all. Oh, it's bad. All right. Where do we go? Gameplay. Game. Where's that? Yo, we were hammered 14-0. Let's start with the lower boards and look at what was happening. Yo. Let's start with Cape Town Chess. This is Matt. So Matt was playing. Okay, so let's do this properly. Let's start with game 1. So Matt is playing black here. E4, E6, D4, D5, knight here. Take on E4, check, C3. Okay, black already is messed up here. Okay, this knight D2, knight C6 is really bad because you deny yourself a pawn levers. So after knight C6, in the long run, oh, if we are missing a board. In the long run, black is going to like counterplay. So maybe preferable was maybe. Oh, what is that for? Oh, okay. The file is missing. Oh, thank you. I saw that. Yeah. He didn't. So now I actually haven't looked at Kanish's material. Also, yeah. Yeah, but knight c6 is bad. Take on e4, take on e4, check. Yeah, this will I plan. This works in e4, e5 setups, but not here. They were all cheating. No, they were really good. You played a girl. WCM means a girl. You were beaten until change fell out of your pockets. Okay, so here the bishop is in the wrong place. It's just going to be a source of moves for white. And yeah, at this point he's already losing material. But the mistake was in the opening strategy already. It was the wrong plan. Yeah, okay, so that was game 1 for Matt. And then game 2. So game 2 is white. It goes e4. Knight here, bishop here. Okay, but there's something wrong here. I think I was thinking of e5, knight here, b takes, bishop takes, but then queen check runs into bishop c3. Okay, fair enough. Okay. Take bc6, bishop d3. almost d5, take, bishop e4, rook e1. Okay, so you can tell that white is being outplayed strategically by black. He's just getting lost positions, and these guys don't make silly mistakes. So he is to give up the queen, but the game was actually lost quite early in terms of the strategy used. So here it's very important. I think he played, but he's not understanding what he's supposed to be doing in these new setups that he's playing. He needs to go back to basics. Okay, Ethan. Let's see if we can get Ethan. Let me just. We're going to get to everyone just now. Just trying to get Ethan live. Let's see if we can get him live. Okay, let's see. You like this song? Okay, so here Ethan is playing white. So he goes e4, g6, knight f3, bishop c4, castles. Okay, so the thing is this, right? There are certain ideas, and if your opponent allows you to play e4 and d4, you must always try to do it, especially if you're younger, because you learn a lot about this kind of structures, and you need to learn to exploit them. Later on in your chess, you can always choose specific variations for openings, but yeah, if your opponent lets you control the center, you must. Okay, so here he doesn't do that. He plays this d3. It's a bit passive, and of course developing knights before bishops is a guideline that's used a lot at the beginning to prevent these kind of mistakes. So bishop e3 just loses material. If you wanted to lose material, maybe you should have put the knight on d2 like this, and then you lose 5 and you get back 3. So this is one way of thinking about it. You lose 5, you get back 3. So your profit is 2. But the way he did it, to save the 5, he gave away 3 and he loses 3. So his losses is much more significant here. Okay, so this is just a lost position. Some dark square compensation for what? There's no dark square compensation. So this position is lost for white already. And yeah, very brutal checkmate. The lightning strikes. Okay, so that was game 1 for Ethan, and game 2 is playing black, and after knight f3, knight f6, c4, knight c6, c6. So okay, so here he messes up here when he plays knight c6, Yeah, this is terrible. Again, just I think if you're young, the simplest way to play is to just go for classic setups. If you start like this, just go e6. If they go d4, just go d5. And then learn these lines. Or after knight bd2, okay. This would have been, okay, black gets equal footing in the center. His pieces are developing, and that's fine. And it's not really complicated. What you're looking for is fairly reasonable moves. But what he did, like this, yes, it works if you find someone who is gullible and can fall for these trips or tricks. But here, the knight is exactly what Chopin was talking about earlier. You have to wonder how did it get there and what was it thinking. So, for instance, here, I think he can already win a piece, white, by playing b4. I'm not sure where that knight is going. It's strange that his opponent didn't see this move because this is the wall. His opponent is like 1800, so. But this shows you that how people make mistakes, right? So e4. Yep. Eventually, customer gives. I'm not happy with this position. d6. Okay. It's unnecessary, but white is throwing sauce on top of all of that. Disaster strikes. So here he resigned. He's just losing too much material with a continuing attack, so we decided to call it quits here. Okay. Killer Frost first game. She's playing black. Okay, yeah, these passive lines, there's no point in playing them. They're going to play a restrained position already. I mean, this c5 is a terrible move. This d6 weakness is a permanent weakness. You can put pressure on it. It's so easy to play this position for white. Okay, here he rushes a little bit. Check. Oh. Okay, so yeah, it's just material down. Okay. Yeah, this is lost. Okay, so here I would say the biggest problem was that opening is not really the most active position. And you're bound to make mistakes in that setup. It's very passive. You have to know a lot to play those kind of positions. Okay. Game 2 was quite short. Like the name short, it was very short. F4, yeah. Okay, already like this idea of allowing this bishop exchange is not a good idea. So maybe bishop b3. This is typical in the Sicilian. And after pawn takes, b1, queen g4, check. Bishop here, f6, take, bishop here, g6. Oh, this is a terrible blunder. Oh. Maybe even in a good position. Oh. So the point is that pawn cannot retake because of the pin. At the same time, he's attacking here. He's also threatening mate. King Thomas. Oh, it's Ethan. Welcome. Welcome, Ethan. I saw your game. I don't know if you saw the commentary on your game, but you can always catch up with a look. I think you forgot your opening in game number 1 and game number 2. That's something you need to really become disciplined on. If you don't follow your lines, you're going to lose a lot of games. You need to follow your lines. Okay, so that was Killer Frost. Let's go to you, Jesus. I'm good, Ethan. E4. Okay, you Jesus was white. Knight C6, King H1. Don't forget to like King Ethan. Yeah, he was doing fine, but okay, so when we train them, they have to do better. It's fine is not enough. We know what they are capable of. They can do better. Okay, so you Jesus so far is fine. Here. Yeah, but I don't trust this move. Knight here, allowing this exchange. Yeah, losing the light squared bishop in these attacks can be dangerous because your opponent is not afraid of you. Okay, so what was I got a glitch here in my mind. Knight d4. White has got a good position though. Queen here. But like the problem with Dash is he goes all in. It's either it works or it doesn't. What was that? Can't even take with a pawn. Okay, I don't know if he's here to defend himself, Dash, but Queen G5, I've got no words to explain that unless it's a type of some sort or like a mouse slip. I don't know. Oh, we were not seeing the board. Yeah, I don't understand. Like Queen G5 into the mouth of the dragon. Like that's not a Dash-like move. Where is he? Wow. Okay. Let's say game number 2. This one he was playing black. Okay, let's go to Bangkok. E4. Okay. Okay. B4. Here, queen there. There's some entry points for the black king, unfortunately. Queen here, knight here. Okay, so you can see that all these pieces can jump in. So here, knight here on e6, take, and rook there. H5, yeah, it's putting pressure on g5. And after this check, he resigns. Not bad. Your opponent was good, Dash. You need to improve. Okay, Yubo. Okay, good. Give me 2 minutes. Just fetch a drink quickly. Okay. Okay, good. So let's get to Yubo. So you Jesus, you feel like you got confused without a plan. Yeah, I think you got a good position, Dash, but those positions you need to play actively. You can't just get there and expect your good looks to do the, as he says, apparently it's good looks, do the rest. So yeah, you need to play with something. Okay, so let's look at Yubo. Let's look at the first game. So Yubo is playing black. Good looks would have overruled. This person is usually good for. It's very, very good for black usually. So it goes b5. This is the right plan. h3, knight c6, good. g4. This is not the right way to play it for white, because black is intending to play the bishop outside the pawn chain anyway. Probably right. Yeah, but g5 is wrong. You don't have to create weaknesses. There's a classic game of Capablanca's where he plays the bishop to d7 in a setup like this, and this is a very good explanation of why you play it like that in this position. So that and e6 were the right ideas. It takes a lot to know that you don't have to go mad when your opponent is going mad. Yeah, sometimes you can even play e5. Correct, yeah. Correct. So this position is very good for black. So bishop d7, just simply developing and making sure you have a lot of counterplay on the queen side. You can play b4 in many scenarios. So this position, I think you just didn't know how to deal with it also. So after g5, this is a mistake. It creates a lot of weaknesses. b5, b4, you're playing this move, but your dark squared bishop is not participating in the process. Because you have to understand, sometimes it goes to a3, it goes to b2, you win this a2 pawn. So this is very important, maybe to know a little bit more about this setup. But now it's a bit late. And because you're behind in development, you're being hit. This is why your bishop needs to be on d7. I see, yeah. Okay, so like you see, so if your bishop was on d7, this idea and tactic wouldn't work. So it's important to know, and that's why you have to actually follow principles. The moment you get into a position you don't know, you need to follow opening principles. Your bishop, develop your minor pieces, castle, connect your rooks. This kind of stuff saves you from tactical shots, just because your position will be immune to them. But this part I don't get. After you saw that he's getting this tactic in, why did you continue playing? Just accept that you made a mistake, go bishop e7. He gets a pawn or whatever. That's fine. But you're like, okay, I'm going to lose everything because yeah, this is bad. Because his pieces are so active that might as well resign here. Okay. He's going to play, I guess, bishop e5. He had confidence. Sometimes some confidence gets you in trouble. Okay, so let's look at game 2. Ooh, this was very short. I suspect a disaster happened here. Ooh. So Yuba is white here. Bishop g5, e3, rook c1, castles, e4, take, yeah. It's just a terrible blunder. So yeah, he's supposed to take maybe on f6 with check. Or take with the bishop on f6. Just a simple tactical mistake. Yes, exactly, yeah. I think in the olden days, right? Let's say after castles. So they used to say, oh, if you play bishop d3, you lose a big tempo. But to be honest, it's not a big deal. Just play bishop d3, he takes on c4, you take with the bishop. And that's actually, I think that's much more a promising continuation than this b3. You weaken a lot the dark squares. And you can see that black gets quite a bit of counterplay and you are behind in development. So I think bishop d3, d takes c4, bishop c4, b5, bishop d3 or whatever that they do is actually more active for white. And maybe the source of problems starts there, you know? Like here, it's just black gets everything in without being questioned. So yeah, I think this would have been the better continuation. So you lost twice because you didn't really know your plans in the early opening middle game. So just put some attention on that. Let's look for, okay, mine, it was clear. Let's look at Snowcat's game. Let's look at game 1. Yeah, already in a, maybe first castle and then maybe try that. But then black just gets an easy game. So Snowcat is black. Take on e4, is playing this. Okay, so yeah, just here white has sacrificed the pawn, but in exchange you can see that he's very much ahead in development, and it's got a dangerous setup here. This is not going to end well. Take on f6, queen e4. This is a double attack, just a simple with the pressure, just misses this idea. And after queen takes, maybe there's a bit of a compensation for the pawn, but it's not enough. And after this is clearly better for white. You can try for one tactic, but it's not enough. Knight e5, and it does it nicely, you know. Very impressive. He had confidence. What side dog is bad? I feel like they play b3. Yeah, correct. b3 was bad though. Yeah. e4 might have been too much. Yeah, the Rubinstein, of course. Yeah. But I think, okay, so let's see where you would need to do something about this opening. I already feel that. Okay, so of course, if you ask me here, after knight d2, I really think that h6 is quite tricky. I've eventually got this book. I think that h6 is very tricky here. Knight takes e4, knight d7, knight f6, take. Maybe h6 is a bit weird here. Maybe just bishop e7. But he might know stuff. He might know stuff maybe. Yeah. He did alright. I mean, but okay, so if you know James, you expect a bit more. I think, yeah, you expect a bit more. He knows his stuff normally. Here he seems to have been caught flat-footed in a setup he didn't really understand. Yeah, h6 is not probably appropriate in this position. Oh, I was actually not showing you the full board. Okay. It was game 1, game 2. Okay, so here he is playing white. He goes knight f3, e3, bishop g2. Rook e1. Yeah, h6 was played. Okay, yeah. Okay, so like if you play this kind of opening, it doesn't really give you, like with good play, like also good players, they don't really give you that freedom you get when you play an amateur. You do get this position, and here again his opening fails him. Check, and now you just down a piece and designed. So maybe you birthday boy, you was not in a frame of mind of play. But yeah, James I would expect would do better normally. And this opening, I think the king's Indian attack. It's nice, but you against a prepared opponent, it's very hard to get an advantage. Yeah. So that was our match. We really lost, but some nice instructive games. So yeah. Chopin, thank you for joining. Really appreciate. Greywood, thank you for coming through. I think it's tomorrow we catch up on our stuff. What we've been working on. I'm not sure who else is there, but thank you so much for coming through. And I will. Yeah, you learn a lot. You learn a lot. It's not pleasant, but you learn a lot. Thank you, Chapin, for the support. Greywood, I think you've earned your lesson. You just need to find the time, and then we can start removing some of that gray hair. Thank you so much, guys. Later. I haven't Chapin. I think did you whisper it to me on Twitch, or I remember that day. I think they were in chat. Let me know how you sent the game. In the chat. Okay, I'll look for it. I'm going to look for it.